SCC Presents. I'm your host, Melody Callihan. Obviously not in the studio, not back in the studio quite yet. So I'm coming from you to you from my dining room. And this is about the third or the fourth show that I posted from my dining room. And it's been great fun. So I appreciate you tuning in. We are still working very hard at Southeastern to make sure that we are meeting the needs of our students and the needs of our community. Even though we may not physically be on campus, we are still working really hard for you. So I'm so glad that you tuned in today because I've got some folks with the Educational Talent Search Division located on our campus, and they too have been very busy. So I'd like to welcome, joining me today, I have Miss Doris Jacobs. She is the Director of Talent Search. Miss Trina Davis is a counselor. Robin Patterson is also a counselor. Beverly Ballard, counselor. And we also have a special guest that will be speaking with us a little later. And her name is Andrickia Gause. And Andrickia is a student that is currently participating in the Educational Talent Search program. I'd like to also mention that Miss Pearl Covington is the Administrative Assistant for Educational Talent Search. She's just unable to be with us today, but we've got a whole host of folks ready to share lots of information with you. So thank you so much for tuning into today's show. I'd like to start with you, Doris. It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. I miss seeing everybody.
I do too. It will be so nice once we get back on campus. And this is a very busy semester, as you very well know, for Southeastern. And it's also a very busy time for everyone in the Educational Talent Search program. Let's start out, Doris, if you would just tell us a little bit about the Educational Talent Search program and the services that are provided by y'all.
Okay. Well, Educational Talent Search is funded by the Department of Education. So we're federally funded, of course, based at Southeastern. And basically, we work with students in grades 6 through 12 in Whiteville City Schools and Columbus County Schools. And we target 2/3 of our participants have to be from low-income families and first-generation families, which means that they would be the first person in their family to actually attend college. So that's basically the target population. As far as the services that we provide, we do things like take students on college tours. We expose them to cultural activities. It might be going to a museum or somewhere like that. We can go into the schools and do workshops with the students, and we have counselors assigned to the schools that we work with. So they go in, our seniors especially, we help them with applying for financial aid, applying for college, and we just do a variety of services. Basically what we try to do is provide them with the support that they need to stay in school, to graduate from high school, and then to attend college.
Right, that's a lot of services and support that you offer. And you had mentioned it's grades 6 through 12. So I would imagine that identifying that target group and offering your services at such an early time as in 6th grade, that's very beneficial because it helps provide that foundation for the student that he or she may not have had.
That's true, because research finds that if you start working with students, the younger you can start working with them, it helps them to be more successful as they get on into high school. So we are really happy that we are able to start with students in the 6th grade. And once they enroll in the program, they stay with us right on through the 12th grade. So some of our students, they're with us for like 6 years. So we have a chance to really establish a great relationship with the students.
Now, are there any fees or costs involved for the students that participate in the program?
No, all of our services are free. So that's another great thing. And even when we take them on trips, we usually have funds in our budget to, assist as far as paying for admission fees. We pay for the bus, we pay for the rooms if we have an overnight trip. So we're really just pleased that we can provide these services to our students and it doesn't cost them anything.
Well, just the trips alone, I know that you've taken them, I've seen the bus out in front of A building, loading everybody up, taking them on educational field trips, as well as tours of college campus. And that in itself, just having that student leave Columbus County, that That's a pretty big deal, because I think we would all be surprised at the number of folks that just haven't ventured out, or haven't had the means to do that. So the fact that the program that y'all were able to offer that, I think, is a pretty big deal.
It is, and it's surprising how many of the students that we work with, when we take them on a trip, it is their first time for some of them leaving Columbus County. And so we know that it gives them some great exposure.
It does. Now, I know one of the services that you offer is helping high school seniors in particular fill out financial aid applications, or assisting them in finding financial aid options. Robin, can you talk with me a little bit about that, and tell me how you go about assisting students in regards to financial aid?
Yes, so the financial aid applications opens up in October of each year. So like, for instance, for the academic school year, where students for applying, going to college for 2021, the FAFSA applications opens up on October 1st of 2019, and the deadline is March 1st of 2020. A lot of times when students hear about that deadline, they think, oh, wow, well, if it's after March 1st, I have not completed my FAFSA, then what shall I do? Even though there is a deadline with the financial aid application, what the FAFSA does is says that if you are guaranteed a certain amount if you apply before the deadline. However, we know that especially with this pandemic, things happen. Students aren't always to meet that deadline. They still need to complete the FAFSA application, because that's how they're able to pay for college. Even if they're not awarded as much money that is guaranteed for students who have applied before the deadline, they are still guaranteed money, and they still will have assistance in order to attend college. So in working sometimes with students who are first generation low income, they're not always able to complete the deadline, or the parents maybe not as knowledgeable or have the resources. So, and then we know that time goes by so fast. So whereas when you started the academic school year, right, March 1st seemed like it was a long ways away. Here we are heading into May, and I do have students that have not completed it. However, I tell them we can still get it done. That is needed in order for you to go to college. And so they have that deadline because, of course, they want to ensure if you don't have a deadline, then you will have students, maybe it's time to go to college in August and they haven't applied at all. So the deadline is there for a reason. However, students are still eligible to receive money after the deadline, and are still encouraged to apply, because again, that is how they're able to pay for college.
Now, what about scholarship options? Is that something that you can help the student with as well?
Absolutely. So a lot of the scholarship opportunities that are available from the community and different things are available in the guidance office. So a lot of that information was at the schools. They have various websites. I mean, from Coca-Cola to various colleges have scholarships as well. So I always tell my students that we do assist with them, helping them find scholarships, looking for deadlines and things of that nature, because they have so many. There are local scholarships like Delta Sigma Theta sorority, aka there are local scholarships on the local level as well. And so we do assist them, helping them find them, and then completing the information that's required. With the scholarships, a lot of the students struggle with the essay, and they feel like they're not as certain and they don't know what to say. And a lot of times I tell students, if you do an essay, a lot of times you can use that essay for various scholarships, because a lot of the essays just want to know a little bit about you as the student, who you are, some things you've done in the community, things of that nature. So once we get over that hurdle, then students are like, okay, yes, but sometimes it's difficult to get them to apply, and we kind of have to stay, on them and encourage them. But there are scholarships and things out there for them, but we do have to assist them. And then some students are very proactive, and they go get that information themselves and fill it out, and they are really on top of that, so, which is a good thing.
Navigating that whole process, just FAFSA alone, can be a little overwhelming. Especially if you've got a student that's never had to complete some of that paperwork or gather some of that paperwork asking. So that's a wonderful service that's provided by Talent Search. Now, Beverly, I understand that another service that is provided is offering support to students when it comes to standardized testing, such as SAT. Can you talk with me a little bit about that, please?
In January, what we did, we did ACT boot camps at the high schools that we serve. We had a presenter that come in. He provided some good strategies for the students to use so that they can improve their test scores. As a result of that, we got positive feedback from the administrators, the teachers, the parents, and even the students. Well, you know, they enjoyed what he told them to help improve their test scores. We also provide fee waivers for our students, so that alleviate the cost that their parents don't have to pay for those tests. And we encourage them to go to act.org or sat.org and download and print out the study guides, so that they can have some other resources, so they can have to improve their test scores. We have Kane Academy that we also use. So there's a lot of resources out there. And we also encourage our students to download the ACT and the SAT apps, because they provide study questions and study tests as well. So there's a lot of resources we try to share with our students, so that they can make that score that they want, so they can get any college that they desire to get into.
So really, when you think about it, Educational Talent Search is kind of like a one-stop shop. I mean, you start offering services at 6th grade. You help with the test prep, with financial aid. You help them with the college application process. You provide tours. It's like everything is located right in one hub, which is absolutely wonderful. A bit about maybe some of the other services that's provided, and maybe some creative ways that y'all have still been able to offer those services through this time.
As we stated earlier when we started the broadcast, we were saying that we connect with them through telephone, text, email. You know, we're working on maybe doing some Zoom meetings with our students as well, so we can see that face-to-face contact, because I like to see my students face-to-face. You know, I'm a face-to-face person, so we're working on that, and hopefully within the next couple of days we'll be able to get that started up and going. So yes.
Now, Doris, if we have someone tuning in now that may be interested in Educational Talent Search, what's the process? Like, is there an application process, or is this something that's directed through like the high school or their school counselor? Tell me those beginning steps for someone that may be interested.
Well, of course, under normal circumstances, we have applications in the guidance offices at all of the schools that we work with. And by the way, let me mention the schools that we work with before I forget. We work with 4 middle schools: Tabor City Middle, Hallsboro, Central, and Evergreen. And then the 4 high schools: East Columbus, West Columbus, South Columbus, and Whiteville High. So normally we do have applications there. But under these circumstances, since we're not at the schools, we have an application posted on our link at the SCC website. So if they go to our website and look for the Educational Talent Search link, they will see an application there. They can fill it out and actually email the application to us. So, and we still in the process of recruiting. So if we have anyone that's interested, please contact us. Please go to our website, and we'll do whatever we can to work with you to get that application.
Now, and I know that your services began in 6th grade, but if someone's tuning in and let's say they will be a senior next year, I just want to point out that it's not too late for them to take advantage of your services, right?
Right, it's not too late. We start with the 6th grade, but we actually enroll students as long as they're in grades 6 through 12. We prefer to get them before they get to the 12th grade, because that gives us more time to work with them. But yes, we do work with students any of those grade levels from 6 to 12.
And among the services that you provide, I know that we've talked about assistance in filling out the financial aid applications, but there's also a lot of career guidance that is offered through your program as well. Can you expand upon that for me, please?
Well, you know, we of course talk to our students when they're making decisions about where they're going to school, or maybe what career they want to pursue. We do career interest inventory. Sometimes they don't know what they want to do, and maybe an inventory will help them decide. And then we also counsel them, depending on the career or depending on the major. You know, certain schools specialize in certain majors. So we try to make sure we steer them if they're interested in a certain occupation. Well, we know that this school is really known for this. You know, like SCC has a great nursing program. So a lot of students that stay local, they're interested in going into the nursing program, for instance. So we just try to work with them and steer them in the right direction, depending on what their occupational or their career goals are.
And I assume that you would, that y'all probably work very closely with the counselors at these middle schools and high schools also.
Yes, we do. In fact, we have a great working relationship with all the schools, and we appreciate everything that the counselors do with us. And they also refer students to us. We can take referrals as well. You know, it might be some teachers that say, you know, I think they would really benefit from talent search. A lot of the counselors at the schools refer students to us as well. So yeah, we work very closely with them.
Andrickia, I'd like to talk with you for just a minute, please. Thank you so much for joining us today. I think you are a great advertisement for the Educational Talent Search Program. So, Andrickia Gause, you are currently a student at Whiteville High School, and you have been and still are participating in the Educational Talent Search Program. So, would you mind just telling me a little bit about your experience with Talent Search and maybe some of the services provided that you have been able to benefit from?
Talent search to me is a great opportunity, especially like you said, it gets overwhelming if you haven't done like a lot of the paperwork before. So Miss Doris and Miss Robin, like the whole program really helped me to fill out my applications. Like during college week, I fill out so many applications I couldn't even remember. It helped me to fill out scholarships, financial aid. It also helps like after school programs, like help you like when you need tutor or something, like some kind of help. And the trips are amazing. Like you said, we couldn't like get out Columbus County is like take us somewhere so we could adventure and explore and really know what we want to do like when we get out of high school.
At what grade did you start participating with Talent Search in their program?
I started in 8th grade when I moved from Central. I went to Chavern, and that's where I found out about Talent Search. So I started all the way to now.
Yeah, so you've been with them for quite a few years now.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, before we started taping, you were telling us about all of those college applications that you completed, but you also were telling us about some of the acceptance letters that you have also received. So would you mind sharing that with everyone?
I have received acceptance letters from Winston-Salem University, North Carolina A&T, Campbell, and William Peace, and I applied to 7 different colleges. So I'm just waiting on 3 more, but so far I have got accepted into them 4.
Well, congratulations. That is excellent work. Do you have your heart set on anywhere in particular yet, or are you still trying to decide?
East Carolina University. My heart is set to be ECU. I want to, when I graduate, I want to go study neonatal and labor and delivery nurse. So I want to work with the babies. So my heart is set on East Carolina University.
Wonderful. So if we've got some folks that are tuning in today and they may be a little undecided about Educational Talent Search, let's say, what would you tell a friend? Why would you encourage them to check out this program?
I would tell them like the love and support that they give, like just not as teachers or helps, like they actually care for you, like you're one of their own. So I would say at least try it. Like you won't know till you try it. Because at first I was skeptical. I was like, oh no, I don't want to do that. But my friend told me to try it. So now I tell others, just try it.
Well, we're so glad that you did. And, you know, that's why Talent Search is here. And I think you are an awesome example of someone that's taken full advantage of everything that they have to offer. Doris, I know that you and your department, this is just one example of the students' success stories that you may have, but I know hearing Andrickia talk about all of the love and support that she received from your department must make you very proud.
It really does. Yes, she, like you said, she's a prime example of the students that we serve, and it's sort of like they're our children. That's kind of how we treat them, and they'll tell you that too. If they do something wrong, we let them know, just like we would do with our own children.
Approximately how many students are y'all able to service currently?
We serve 816 students between the two school systems. So we have a large group of students that we work with.
Now, do they ever come on campus, like to your offices, or do you always go out to them, or is it a little bit of both?
It's a little bit of both. Our counselors go out to the schools every week, certain days a week they go, but then in our offices on campus, sometimes students come on campus for different things, and that's fine too, especially if a lot of our students, probably at least a fourth of our students or our seniors every year actually attend Southeastern. So they come on campus. Sometimes will help them with the application process, or even applying for financial aid, things like that we can help them with on campus too. So they can do whatever's most convenient for them, but especially the ones that are coming to Southeastern, they tend to come to our office quite a bit.
And just a point of clarification, you had talked about in reference to financial aid and helping the students complete the application, but you help them apply for financial aid or for scholarships. Talent Search itself doesn't offer financial aid to the students. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah, we don't actually offer funds as far as them attending college, but we help them as much as we can with the scholarship applications and the financial aid applications.
So for high school seniors, right now, it is not too late. We need to get those FAFSAs completed. What about college applications? Are you still able to offer services with completing those at this time?
Yes, we can still help them. It's our seniors, we kind of hoping by now you narrowing it down, but if you need our help, all they have to do is call us or email us. We'll get in touch with them, and we're still helping them through that process.
Great. Lots of information shared today. Educational Talent Search is located on our campus. But even though they are not there right now, they are certainly very accessible to you. And please take note, their names and their contact information will be listed on a slide at the end of the show. So if you have any questions or comments, please be sure to reach out to them. I'm sure that they will be more than happy to assist you. Doris, thank you all so much for joining me today from whatever room in the house you may be in, right?
Thank you. I'm like you, I'm in my dining room.
I know.
This is my office now.
Yes, it's a shared space in my house. My husband is set up in the dining room teaching, and my daughter Charm is here in the morning, and the rest of us are at the kitchen table. So we try to just divide and conquer in our house, you know. Thank you all so much for joining us, and thank you so much for tuning in and continuing to support all that we're doing here at Southeastern Community College. We want you to know that we miss you and that we appreciate you, and we are still here for you to support you in any way. The services that are provided by Talent Search is just one of the examples of how we are still here to help you finish strong. So please take note of the information that will be shared on the slide at the end of the show. And also be sure that you are checking our website regularly. It's www.sccnc.edu. As you may know, that is the hub of all information related to Southeastern Community College. We also have the live chat feature. So if there are any questions, comments, or concerns that you may have, you can certainly use the chat feature. Now, the person on the other end may not be the exact person that you want to speak with at that time, but they can certainly put you in contact with the folks or the person that you need to speak with. So Educational Talent Search, we are very excited to have this program located on our campus. They do lots of great things with the youth in our community, and for that we are very grateful. As always, thank you for tuning in to SCC Presents, and who knows, maybe I'll see you again soon from my dining room, okay? You guys take care, be well, and we look forward to seeing you soon. But in the meanwhile, make sure you continue to tune in to SCC Presents so you can see how we continue to succeed together here at Southeastern Community College.